from Kim, and she can fuck all night.
In a rather shocking turn of events, last Thursday, Major League Baseball killed off the Tampa Bay Rays split season plan with Montreal, which is a major blow to principal owner Stuart Sternberg. And this comes just about a week since 40 local Tampa Bay business leaders signed their names in support and approval of splitting the team with Montreal. So just some crazy stuff in the baseball world going on. Because now, what the Rays thought was a sure thing is now a nothing, because Major League Baseball didn't approve it. And I've been saying for a long time that I didn't think this was going to happen, because not only would the league owners have to approve of such a ludicrous plan, but it would have also had to have been approved by the Players Union, the Players Association. And did you really think that if Major League Baseball approved of it, which it almost kind of looked likely because Manfred gave permission to the Rays to even explore the option in the first place, that the players would have agreed with it? Because think about it. If you're a player, now you have to buy a house in 2 cities. You have to be away from your family for a lot longer. Where are you going to go in the off season? There's just so many logistics. It wouldn't have worked. Players wouldn't have agreed with it. So the fact that the Rays were disappointed by this, it's almost kind of laughable. Because us as fans, ever since this was first announced 2 years ago, knew this was ridiculous. We knew there was no chance you could have ever split a team with another city. That's just not how it works. You can't do that. Anyways, why did Major League Baseball shut down the plan? I'll tell you why I think they shut down the plan, because they're not really saying why yet. I personally believe when the Rays first seeked approval to explore this option, I think most people, including Major League Baseball, thought it was a negotiation tactic. I know I sure as hell thought that, but as time went by, everybody kind of started to realize, hold up, the Rays, they're not joking around about this plan. They're actually trying to pull it off. And so I think Major League Baseball and Rob Manfred started to think, hold up, look, we're all for your negotiation tactics because we want you to get a new stadium. We want you to figure your shit out. So yeah, we'll go ahead and play along with you. We'll go ahead and play along with this ridiculous plan. But then, Stu and the Rays, they're serious about it. We're gaining leverage. We're gaining momentum into making this a reality. And then that's when Major League Baseball steps in and is like, fuck that. I think that's what happened, honestly. I think MLB just started to realize that the Rays were serious, and they cut that shit off as soon as they could. But this is a major blow to Stu Sternberg, like I said, because he's been spending the last 2.5 years trying to get momentum in this plan to split a team with a city in a different country over 1,000 miles away. And now he has 6 years, whether it be in Tampa or a different city, to have a brand new stadium built for opening day. Built, completed, and ready to go for opening day in 2028. I think this news lessens the chances of the Rays staying in Tampa full time. But I know I speak for many Rays fans when I say I would have rather had no team than a part-time team. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I mean, that's like sharing a wife. You really want to have your girl next to you for half a year and then, oh, see ya, sweetie. Have fun with the other dude. I mean, come on. It's ridiculous. So I don't think it's far-fetched for me to say that. But the one thing is, I don't know where else they would go. As somebody who's lived in Tampa for 15 years, grown up in this region, and seen the extraordinary growth of it over the years, including just the last half-decade alone, I don't see a more profitable market in the country than in Tampa, especially with the way our sports have gone over the last couple of years. Jane Castor, mayor of Tampa, said that she had 2 plans to look at and that she's been thinking of for the last 2 years, and she's been mostly looking at the split city plan. But now, she states she can put all of her focus into the full-time stadium plan. Now, Stu was asked about relocation, and he was asked about selling the team. He has no plans of selling the team. I can say that right now with confidence. He has no plans of selling the team. After all, he's getting a pretty big paycheck when all is said and done with the Tropicana Field site redevelopment that St. Petersburg will be undergoing in the next decade. And I don't think he wants to miss out on that profit he'll be making there. But when asked about relocation, he says that it's something he's not thinking about right now. He states that his focus is keeping the Rays in Tampa for many generations to come, as he's been saying since he took over the team in 2005. The problem that the Rays have right now is the fact that St. Petersburg already knows what their plans are to redevelop the Trop site. They just approved recently what will be in place on the Tropicana Field site when they tear down the Trop. Now, St. Petersburg, they did leave an empty space for a potential new Rays stadium in that redevelopment project if the Rays so choose to stay in Pinellas County. Spoiler alert, the Rays don't want that. Major League Baseball doesn't want that. Rays fans don't want that. The only people that want the Rays to stay in St. Petersburg is St. Petersburg. That's it. Nobody else. Nobody else wants the Rays to stay in St. Petersburg. And it's pretty obvious why. So we could just go ahead and rule that out. Stu doesn't want it. Tampa doesn't want it. Major League Baseball doesn't want it. It's not happening. No new stadium in St. Pete. Honestly, and I know there's a big crowd of people out there who believe that Nashville and Charlotte are two potential relocation markets for the Tampa Bay Rays. Let me tell you right now, I don't think Major League Baseball wants to relocate to either of those markets for a couple of reasons. I don't think it's any secret that Major League Baseball wants to expand to 32 teams at some point. The NHL recently did. You know, Major League Baseball's seen all that money the NHL has brought in through expansion fees and new markets, and you know, baseball wants to get in on it themselves. Here's the question, right? Hypothetically, say the Rays move to Nashville. Where are you going to expand? Where are you going to put a 31st team? Where are you going to put a 32nd team? There's really nowhere else in the country, at least, or in Canada, to put a team if you just relocate to Nashville. And also, I don't think Major League Baseball wants a team for the time being in Nashville or Charlotte because it's too close to the Atlanta region. There are so many Braves fans. The Braves have one of the biggest fan bases in the league, and I don't think baseball wants to cut some of that revenue through the Braves fans. I don't think they want to split any of that fan base. I think they just simply don't want Nashville or Charlotte through relocation. I can see them wanting to eventually expand to Nashville or Charlotte, but not relocating. It would be much more profitable for Major League Baseball, and I mean by a long shot, if the Rays moved to Tampa, where they belong, and then they expanded to Nashville. Because now you're in two new markets, and now you can focus on getting the 32nd team. Maybe Las Vegas. Who knows? We're not worrying about that right now. It would just be so much better for baseball to take that route instead. As a Rays fan, what do I think will happen next? I'll tell you exactly what I think will happen next. I think the war is almost over, guys. There are so many Rays fans who don't get the recognition they deserve simply because St. Petersburg. So let me just tell you this to my fellow Rays fans. I think the war is almost over because I think Tampa is finally getting the Tampa Bay Rays. I really believe that. When you think about how Tampa is one of the fastest growing regions in the country, on top of the success that our sports teams have seen the last 3 years. Simply put, there isn't a better region in the country. There isn't a better region in the country for the Rays to move to. It's just not a thing. The tricky part is the Rays, they've tried twice now to move stadiums. First in 2008, they wanted to move to Al Lang, a mile down the road on the waterfront of St. Petersburg, which would have sucked. And then again, 4 years ago in 2018, it's crazy that that was 4 years ago, but it was, when they had that huge plan to have this translucent roof in Ybor City. The Rays don't need any of that fancy shit, okay? They just need a nice little stadium. I'm thinking Comerica Park in Detroit, but with a roof. Honestly, that's all you need. Make it have some nice looking brick design to fit in with Ybor City's aesthetic, and just make that happen. As a Rays fan, I'm not asking for anything fancy. I'm not asking for a multi-billion fucking dollar project like SoFi Stadium or Globe Life Field. I'm not asking for that. I just want the Rays to have an above average ballpark in Ybor City with a roof. That's all I want. It doesn't have to be translucent. If I were the architect, I would say, we don't need a retractable roof. Miami doesn't ever use theirs because it's just too hot here in the summer and it rains too much. But what you can take from Miami is their giant sliding glass door in the outfield and just have some fresh air flow in. Have a nice view of downtown Tampa through the glass door. That's all you need. We're not asking for some ridiculous project like the Ybor City Stadium was 4 years ago. We just want something to bring our Rays to Tampa full time. That's all we want, and it's not much to ask for. I think it's happening. But you have to realize Stu Sternberg has 6 years to have a brand new park built for opening day 2028. He has 6 years, which isn't very much time. So within 6 years, he's got to find a location, buy dirt, approve of what's being built, get shovels in the ground, and then have everything up and ready to go for opening day 2028. That's a short fucking timer. Honestly, it wouldn't shock me if we got to the point where the Rays did announce that they were coming to Tampa and staying full time, but it was delayed because they just took too long to find the most suitable project and get it built before 2028, so they would have to play a season or two in a minor league ballpark, which this is Florida, spring training's here, there's plenty. Problem is all of them are open air, you'd have a lot of cancellations, but I can see that kind of happening in a way. But if you ask me, I think we're golden. I think Major League Baseball wants the Rays in Tampa. I know Tampa wants the Rays in Tampa. The only problem in what the Rays have struggled with in previous stadium ideas was the fact that they lack corporate sponsorship. They struggle finding corporate sponsors. But let me tell you what, if the 40 corporate leaders, Tampa Bay business leaders that just signed off on that we approve of Montreal split time last month or whenever that was, surely you can get those 40 members to say, okay, we approve of full time in Tampa. Like, it can't be that hard. Give me Hard Rock, give me Publix, give me Chuck Sykes. I mean, I know a lot of these people have to at some point step in and support the Rays. And lastly, like I said, the Rays are on a very short leash right now. The clock is ticking. Stu has about a year to get shit rolling. He has about a year tops. So it will be a very interesting year with the Rays, whether or not we get a baseball season, because that's still in question as of now. It will be an interesting year, because we're going to be talking a lot about this stadium saga. And let's just hope that the war comes to an end and that we finally get what we've been longing for the last 20 fucking years. I'm Chiefs Rays Bolts. Go Rays. Peace out.